Sup, got some drama today. Black Ops in Bristol, Wisconsin. The referees were incredible. The staff was friendly and helpful, and the community and player base was one of the most honorable, respectful, and welcoming I've ever seen. But the owner, oh man. Little did I know when I posted my last video saying this honestly feels like there's a haunted connection between these two places. They're not too far apart, and it's like they're working in tandem to try and shut me down. Also, the airsoft field that I visited between these two haunted places happened to be one of the worst airsoft experiences I've ever had in 16 years of airsoft. That the field owner would post a 6.5-minute slanderous live stream about it, calling me names and fabricating lies about my character and my integrity. It's a really nasty situation because it's all based on his inability to properly quote me. In his live stream, he seems to think that I called his field the worst airsoft field ever. I never said that. I was never going to say that either. I said the worst airsoft experience. If he had just approached me in a professional manner to try and clarify what I meant in my comment before making his live stream public, he'd know that my comment wasn't referring to my opinion about his field, but was instead referring to the bad luck that I was having and my own personal struggles with my camera gear during an incredible moment during the gameplay. This video was originally going to just focus on the fact that for the first time ever, I lost over half my footage due to corrupted files, overheating, and more. Call me strange, but a huge portion of what I enjoy about airsoft is recording it and showing it to you guys. I actually have recurring nightmares that I play really well in airsoft, get a great moment, and can't share it. This was that nightmare becoming reality for me. You'll notice that as a result of my struggles, much of this video is missing headcam footage. This is exactly what I'm referring to when I say that I had the worst airsoft experience. An experience is just that, someone's personal experience. In addition to my camera troubles, I fell a bunch of times, my gun malfunctioned, and I broke my charging handle. Saying that I had a bad experience is such a far cry from saying that the field is the worst airsoft field ever. For him to go and bully me in front of his audience over this is downright disgusting. While slandering me in his live stream, he was even talking about how many views it would get, which really makes me question his motives. In person, everything was great. We talked for hours, we took pictures together, but now behind my back he's gonna say I'm cocky and a cheater. Yeah, that makes sense. I visited Black Ops Bristol with high expectations. It was one of my most highly anticipated fields on my airsoft tour around the US. Shortly after we left home, we realized how big of an undertaking this tour was, so we ruled out all the poorly reviewed fields on our list and focused on the best ones. Black Ops Bristol ranked so highly on my list that we ditched day 2 of the Asylum and beelined it over here to play the very next day. This field really disappointed me, but in person the owner was nice, so I was prepared to keep my public criticisms of the field to myself and focus on my own struggles instead. I was going to title this video My Worst Airsoft Experience Ever, go into detail about why, show some gameplay, and be done with it. Unfortunately now, all bets are off. This video will now be my comprehensive review of the field featuring my professional opinion about the good, the bad, and the ugly of this place. Now, if you like this place, don't let me take that from you. If you enjoy it, I respect that. Even though my criticisms are obviously my own opinion, they won't be baseless. I'll be showing video alongside, of course, to show why I don't like what I don't like. Some of the decisions that were made regarding this field are honestly perplexing to me. I really don't understand it. I'm also going to be showing what I do like about the field and highlighting that as well. This video will also serve as proof to debunk the baseless lies and accusations that were made about me during that live stream. The main lie that this guy repeats in his live stream that he repeats over and over and over is that I only played for 15 minutes at his field, but this could not be further from the truth. I played most of the day, around 3 hours of actual game time, which if you've played Airsoft is a lot. I played 2 full games, then the full field mega game that's over an hour, then 2 more full games. I have everything that I need to make a full and proper review of the place. To reiterate, I really want to be constructive with my criticisms here. I'm sure the field owner's watching this, and despite how he treated me, I'd like for my feedback to maybe help improve the field so that a newer player might have a better experience. Okay, starting off with some of the good things that I like about this place. I really think that it has some of the most potential for an airsoft field that I've ever seen. With some crucial tweaks, it would go from, in my opinion, wacky and weird to amazing. The place is enormous. I would imagine that a large 300-player Milsim battle here would be pretty cool. There's also a lot of variety, which is great. From wooded action to open fields to building dense hotspots, this place pretty much has it all. Now, from my opinion, the scale of this place can also be a negative, especially if you're a newer player here and you don't know the names of all the buildings and where everything is. Getting lost here is very easy. The mega game is very long and uses the entire field, much of which is in that dense forest with tons of pathways that can honestly get extremely confusing. Getting into some of the negatives, this next thing is the main thing that would prevent me from wanting to return to this field. The forest, the wooded area, whatever you want to call it, is a huge portion of the field during the full game, and it's riddled with these sticker burr plants that will get on your clothes and ruin them, especially if you don't want to spend hours removing them all by hand afterwards. Obviously, they can't be washed out, and they'll pull fibers from your gear when you do remove them. Since playing in the woods here is crucial to success during these big games, I'd say that there's a solid chance that you might ruin your gear when you're trying to win. This next part is completely my own fault, and it's the living nightmare that I was referring to earlier. It was a hot and muggy day, so my cameras were overheating constantly. I spent over an hour battling with that and slogging my way through the forest. Fire Swamp from Princess Bride has nothing on this place. I got into such a perfect position, and I took out 4 enemies from behind only to realize that my zoom cam didn't capture the sequence either. So you're just going to have to use your imagination on this part, and feel my struggle. After killing those 4 players in the woods, I was done. I wanted to go back, but all 5 of us got lost trying to find our way back. Some of those 4 dudes have also played here before, so take from that what you will. Moving on to my next point, it's a negative unfortunately. I do understand that filling out 100 acres with airsoft buildings is a huge hassle and a lot of work. But for me, in everything I do, quality has always been more important than quantity, so it's most important to me that a field makes sense rather than just being excessively large. Some of the buildings just don't make sense. Once you enter, it really feels like you're stuck in a rat maze. In my opinion, there are just too many rooms that lead to nowhere, and without a metric ton of players to fill the field out, you'll often be checking corners unnecessarily to rooms that seem to serve no other purpose than to harbor campers. Good news, this part of the gameplay has head camera, so the rest of it's going to be infinitely more watchable, and I'm going to let the gameplay play out over my points so that you can see what I'm talking about. Dude, where is the angle? So many dead ends. Pushing up properly through these buildings is extremely time consuming if you want to do it properly. It's all too easy to just miss one corner that someone's just sitting in and have to start all over again.
Cut. Relax.
As I show you the rest of this gameplay, I want you to put yourself in my position. Where would you move?
Crossing, 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 crossing.
Even with a lot of players on the field, action can slow down to a crawl, so the referees initiate what they call airdrops, where they pull some players from a team and move them to the middle of the map so that the action can flare up again.
Dutch, would you like to join our airdrop?
What's an airdrop? What's that?
You get dropped. Raph coming through, Raph coming through. That's it, we're dropping you guys in the middle of the field so you guys can get back to me.
No, it's okay. I just want to play.
Looking back, I made a pretty bad decision here. I should have just gone through the bushes where there was cover. To be honest, I don't think I met a single person here that wasn't just totally awesome, aside from, you know.
Of course.
Thanks, man.
Moving as quick as I can around the outside of the buildings, right back to where I died, because I don't want to clear the same ones that I just did again.
I saw your shadow.
I'm sure you did.
I just didn't hit you fast.
We're not done here yet, but I want to take a second to let you know that the links to my previous videos of my tour and a chronological playlist of all of them are in the description, so you can catch up if you missed those. For many reasons now, this tour is the craziest thing I've done in my life. To me, some of the buildings do make sense, like this one. This would be my example of a building that has good flow. You could shoot out from the windows, you can move through it. Each room seems to have a purpose and a place to engage the enemy from. It just makes sense. The only problem is getting past this point. You'll see in a second. There are a lot of areas like this that I would say are just complete no man's lands with no obvious way to go forward. Unless there's absolutely no one in front of you, there's no way to move out of this building, unfortunately. This would be a problem if the games were bigger. If all the corners here are being watched, it's extremely ridiculous to try and move forward. Something I do like is that the engagement distances here seem to be right in that middle ground for Airsoft, where it's perfectly accurate, nothing too far away. Adding more doorways is a great way to improve this field. The sheer size of the buildings means that moving around the outside of them is way too risky and does not encourage a lot of movement.
Hit!
I was reluctant earlier, but this time I'll take the referee's offer for that airdrop.
Are we able to be killed right now?
No. Right now, while we're in transit, no. But once I drop you...
Once he says the thing,
Okay.
Right now would be a good time to address the allegations that the referees yelled at me and the claim that I was cheating.
Are you doing this for the other team too?
No.
What?
Nope, we're going back.
Do you think that referees who suspect me of cheating would offer to take me to the middle of the map and regain an advantage over the enemy team? That really doesn't make any sense to me.
Tell me what? Tell me.
If you've seen my videos, you've seen the fact that multiple referees at different locations have watched me like a hawk, and you would think that at least one of them by now, if I'm a cheater, would say something about it. The fact is, these referees didn't yell at me, they didn't say anything that I was a cheater. I really would hope that slanderous comments like that would be supported with proof, because this actually brings up the real issue here. The owner threw his referees under the bus for not kicking me out, all, once again, based on something that isn't true. This really undermines their integrity as well. It really does seem like the owner gets his information from a bad game of telephone. To me, one of the weirdest things about some of these buildings that just doesn't make sense is that they have entrances which spit you right back out where you started. It really feels like some of this is just designed to troll you until you play here long enough to know all the angles and ins and outs of the place. Maybe just one more door to make your way through this building would be perfect. Here's another example of a building that to me seems like it would be better suited in a haunted house than an airsoft field. I was looking for an exit that might spit me out on the right side, but no such luck.
GG, bro.
Same guy in there, Julie Woodville, who
Oh.
got me like 3 times every time I came back and spot.
Oh.
You were pecking me, but there's another one in the dark one, but good job.
Oh, thanks. Good game, brother.
Yeah.
Everyone was pissed because everyone was trying to spawn kill from right there, so.
Oh, I wasn't shooting into the spawn. I was waiting until you guys push out a
everyone else
little.
was about to rush over the line and get you.
Oh, well, I guess that could have happened, but it didn't. Ha!
Okay, I'm going to take a second to talk about airsoft integrity, especially in trade situations.
Did I really miss you? Okay, it's fine.
Look, we're playing airsoft. It's super fun, but like many things in life, it's not perfect. If you've watched my videos before, I've always tried to play with honor to the absolute best of my ability. Analyzing things like trades in the heat of the moment isn't easy. Airsoft fields have all sorts of different rules around the trade rule. Both are out, who hits first is out. If it's clear, you can make your own decision. If trade kill situations aren't obvious, I always like to give the benefit of the doubt. For example, in this weird situation, I think I handled it appropriately. The enemy player in this situation came over the berm and didn't seem to know exactly where I was, which gave me an extra fraction of a second to shoot back at him.
I don't know.
I don't think you hit me, but if you want me to trade it, do you want me to trade it? Okay.
In the moment, I was 90% sure that he didn't hit me, and to me, it didn't seem like he was quite sure if he hit me either. And I ended up calling myself out and took the benefit of his doubt. This was an extremely stressful video to make. I wish the owner would have just approached me to clarify what I meant in advance. Could have saved us both a bunch of headache. This was the center point of my bad luck, but as I mentioned before, I smashed my head so hard in my next video at the abandoned factory that I'm just happy to be okay. I will see you guys in that video. Until next time, have a good one.